Snow fell thick outside Hennepin County Medical Center that night, heavy, deliberate flakes blanketing everything in sight. The kind of snow that softened the world's sharp edges, making even the ugliest corners look peaceful for a while. I sat there in my car, engine off, heat fatting, the silence almost holy after 12 straight hours of patience, alarms, and fluorescent light. The smell of disinfectant clung to my scrubs, mixing faintly with the lavender perfume of an elderly patient who'd hugged me before discharge. My body screamed for rest, but my mind was still wired, suspended between exhaustion and autopilot. The dashboard clock blinked, 8:17 p.m. I should have been on my way home to Lily by now. My little girl would be waiting, probably surrounded by her train models, the ones she memorized by name and year. I just needed 5 minutes. Just 5 quiet minutes before facing dinner, bath, and bedtime stories. Then my phone chimed. It was the family group chat. Mom, Dad, and my younger sister, Hannah. I unlocked the screen without thinking, expecting the usual question. When are you picking up Lily? But instead, my mother's message glowed like frostbite. We're hosting your sister Hannah's fiancé and his family this year. There's no room for you and Lily at the table. At first, I thought I misread it. My thumb hovered over the glass. Then another message arrived. But we'd love it if you cooked, like always. The air left my lungs in one sharp exhale. My father followed a second later. And don't forget my Apple Watch, Series 9 this time. My hands began to shake against the steering wheel. The cold from outside pressed closer, seeping through the glass. I stared at the messages until they blurred. I wasn't invited to Christmas dinner, but I was still expected to cook it. Something in me cracked. My name is Ashley Miller. I'm 33 years old, and tonight I realized my family never saw me as one of them. I was their convenience, their unpaid help. 3 years ago, I sat in a different car, signing divorce papers in a courthouse parking lot while my toddler slept in the backseat. I'd told myself that moving back home to Minneapolis would give Lily and me a chance to start over. Family support, familiar streets, a bit of warmth in a cold world. They'll help, I'd said to myself back then. We won't be alone. And they had helped, but always with a price. Every after-school pickup became a favor I owed. Every hour they babysat turned into a debt I could never repay. The day Lily was diagnosed with autism, I remember Mom's face, the slight purse of her lips, that flicker of disappointment before she rearranged it into sympathy. Well, she said softly, we'll just have to make sure she learns to behave properly. No one needs to know. No one needs to know. Those words froze something inside me that day. The snow outside my windshield grew thicker, each flake caught in the amber glow of the parking lights. The hospital loomed behind me, but the silence inside the car felt like a sanctuary I wasn't ready to leave. I'd spent years earning love that should have been free. Cooking for birthdays I wasn't celebrated in. Planning Hannah's engagement party on my nurse's salary, while Mom bragged about our perfect family to her charity friends. I was the daughter behind the curtain, never seen, but always serving. My phone buzzed again. This time, I didn't read it. I turned the screen face down. For a few long minutes, I just stared at my reflection in the windshield, the ghostly outline of a woman who looked too tired to keep pretending. Then something inside me shifted, not an explosion, more like a quiet click. The sound of a lock turning from the inside. I started the engine and drove home through the storm. That night, Lily was already asleep when I spread my laptop, phone, and receipts across the kitchen table. My tiny apartment felt colder than usual. I scrolled through years of messages, each one a reminder of how small they'd made me feel. You know we can't do this without you. Don't make Mom stress again. Just bring your famous roast, like always. Favors wrapped in guilt, affection disguised as control. I opened my banking app. My thumb hovered, scrolling through endless transfers, groceries, party decorations, medical bills, gifts, catering supplies. The total climbed higher, $11,400 in 1 year. $11,400 spent not on Lily, not on us, but on them. I stared at the number until it blurred. My throat tightened. All those years, and this was what my love had bought me. Not gratitude, not respect, just exclusion. I stood, moving toward the bookshelf where photo albums gathered dust. One by one, I flipped through them. Christmases, birthdays, graduations. In every photo, Hannah was in the center. Mom smiling beside her. Me somewhere in the background, holding a tray, adjusting the lights unseen. Then I found it, my 12th birthday. A blurry photo of me frosting my own cake, while Mom rested on the couch. I'd made my own birthday cake, so she wouldn't have to. They've always seen me as the help, I whispered. The truth sounded too raw, too real. Tears fell, hot and unstoppable, but they weren't the helpless kind. They were cleansing, like something toxic was finally leaving my body. The next day, my mother's calls started. 3 missed calls, then 5, then 10. Her voice messages escalated from confused to angry. You're being dramatic. We need to finalize the menu. Stop acting like a child. I silenced the phone and went to work. That evening, she came to the hospital herself. I was at the nurse's station when I heard her voice echo through the lobby, sharp, cold, cutting through the hum of the ER. How dare you ignore family, Ashley? Patients turned their heads. My coworkers froze. I tried to stay calm. Mom, this is my workplace. Her eyes flashed. 3 days without a call, your sister, in tears. Security stepped closer, polite but firm. Ma'am, one of them said, please lower your voice. She drew herself up, dramatic as ever. This is how my daughter treats family. By the time they gently escorted her out, I could feel the tremor in my hands. But beneath the humiliation, something else burned quietly, defiance. When the elevator doors closed, I whispered under my breath, no more. That night, Hannah's Instagram post appeared like clockwork. Some people forget family comes first at Christmas. A photo of our childhood stockings, subtle as a knife. Then the group chat pinged again. Ashley, please confirm your cooking schedule. I stared at the screen, then, for the first time in my life, pressed block. Mom. Dad. Hannah. Every number that ever drained me, gone. Then I created a new email folder, family. All future messages would go there, unseen. That night, I slept through the entire night. No anxiety, no late-night texts demanding favors, just silence. The kind of silence that feels like oxygen. The next morning, dawn spilled pale gold through my window. For the first time in years, I didn't wake up already behind. Lily padded into the kitchen in her pajamas, cereal box in hand. Mommy, she said softly, look, I made the trains in a circle. Her tiny fingers arranged cereal pieces into perfect loops. I smiled. That's beautiful, sweetheart. Something inside me, something I thought long dead, stirred again. Joy. Later that week, I opened my laptop and wrote the words family patterns at the top of a blank document. The memories came like a flood. Birthdays spent serving instead of celebrating. Sick days turned into errands for others. Vacations canceled for family obligations. I wrote everything down until my fingers cramped. Seeing it in writing made it undeniable. This wasn't love. This was servitude disguised as loyalty. I picked up the phone and called a therapist. "I need help setting boundaries," I said, voice trembling. The receptionist replied softly, "You've already taken the hardest step." Lily's school concert came 2 weeks later. She was radiant in her little red dress, clutching silver jingle bells, bouncing with excitement. But as soon as we entered the auditorium, I saw them, Mom and Hannah, waiting near the exit like predators. "There you are," Mom hissed. "Your father's parking the car. We need to talk." "After the concert," I said firmly. "This tantrum needs to end," she snapped. Hannah leaned closer. "If you keep this up, we won't watch Lily anymore. What will you do then?" Lily tugged my sleeve. "Mommy, I'm going to ring the bells when my turn comes." I smiled down at her, then looked back at them. I already found a sitter. Lily and I won't be at Christmas. Their shock was almost satisfying. "What will we tell Brad's family?" Mom demanded. "That's your problem, Mom." And with that, I walked away, Lily's hand warm and sure in mine. 3 nights before Christmas, Dr. Patel, my supervisor, knocked on my apartment door. His wife, Eliza, stood beside him, holding a dish of curry and warm naan. "Sandeep told me you could use a little company this week," she said kindly. We ate together at my tiny kitchen table. Lily talked about steam locomotives, and for once, no one told her to quiet down. The next day, a small basket appeared at my workstation. A wooden train set. A conductor's hat. A card that read, "For Lily, from your hospital family." I couldn't stop the tears this time, but they were the good kind, the healing kind. Christmas morning arrived like a whisper. Snow blanketed the city again, just like the night this began. But this time, I wasn't sitting outside the hospital. I was standing in a Chicago hotel lobby, Lily beside me, eyes wide as she stared at the giant Christmas tree reaching up to the glass ceiling. The Waldorf Astoria sparkled like something out of a movie. We'd taken the train here, a gift to us, paid with the money I'd once spent serving others. As the hotel pianist played Silent Night, Lily tugged at my sleeve. "Mommy, can we stay forever?" I knelt beside her, brushing her curls back gently. "Not forever, baby, but we can always come back." Her smile was brighter than any Christmas light in that lobby. That night, I stood by the window of our room, watching snow fall over the city. For years, I'd believed love meant sacrifice, that being good meant being silent. But now I understood. Love doesn't demand you disappear. Family isn't defined by blood, it's defined by peace. I looked over at Lily asleep, her tiny hand clutching a toy train. And for the first time, I felt it freedom. Not loud or dramatic, just quiet, steady freedom. The kind that settles in your chest and tells you you're home now.